Hey guys, meteorologist Chris Tomer here with this On the Snow Before You Go forecast. Be sure to hit the subscribe button so you get notified when my latest forecasts come out. All right, let's jump into it. Let me set the stage here. This is my bullet points. So looking at everything between now and Christmas Eve, here's how it all sets up. The western storm track does remain active, and you're going to see that with two or three different storm systems affecting, a lot of central and northern California, Oregon, Washington, BC, Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, northern Utah, and Colorado's kind of out of it. The exception is going to be with this dirty residual northwest flow kind of cutting into the northern mountains of Colorado. So I think like Steamboat, the Flat Tops, Buff Pass, Cameron Pass could see some decent accumulations over the next 7, 8, 9 days, but only because of that northwest flow in those areas. Now, at times, it may go down to I-70 and brush that area, but I'm not expecting much accumulation across I-70. I think interior BC looks really good. Wait till you see some of the numbers I've got for that area. In the Northeast, your best next shot of heavy snow is going to be 1220 and 1221 if that storm system holds together. Here's my snow timeline. Best odds of snow for the Wasatch, Tetons, Colorado, Tahoe, interior BC, and the Northeast. So I just mentioned the Northeast, and you can see the chances preceding 1220. Maybe light rain snow on 1217. So a problem with some mixing. And then light 1218, 19, but then potentially heavy 1220 and 1221 if that holds together. Interior BC, light into 16, heavy snow 17, 18, and light 1223. So that 17, 18 time frame could be good. Looking at Colorado, like I said, most of the states out of the flow. There might be some light to moderate snow that moves in 23, 24, but it's a long way out. Otherwise, you're going to have to stay in the northern mountains where we're going to have that residual northwest flow. That's where the best snow accumulation is going to be. In the Wasatch, you can see potentially some light snow accumulation 16 into 17 and moderate to heavy. I think that's your best chance 1223 moderate to heavy accumulations. Another way of looking at all of this is my spider chart, odds of best snow. So more purple higher on the web, better odds of new snow next 7, 8, 9 days. So really that's going to be BC. That's going to be the Pacific Northwest. That's going to be Idaho. That's going to be parts of Montana. It's going to be the Tetons. And then that's going to be, you step down to the next level, it's going to be the Wasatch. That's going to be parts of the Sierra. And then even, below that with lower odds is going to be Colorado. And stay in the northern mountains if you're going to go there. Now, higher on the web is going to be the Northeast, assuming that 1220 and 1221 storm holds together. So again, shoot for the areas that have more purple and higher on the web. All right, let me show you how this is going to play out. This is the future radar. This is the future radar, and this is early Monday on the 16th. I'm going to step through this slowly, but you can see where all of the precip is. It's all in the Pacific Northwest, BC, clipping parts of Northern California, overrunning Idaho. Watch what happens. So by the time we get to lunchtime, this is lunch, Monday the 16th. Some snow now moving down towards Tahoe. You've got snow over the top of the high Cascades, the volcanoes, BC, snow in Idaho, snow in Montana, and snow over the top of the Tetons. All right, by the end of the day on Monday the 16th, you've got snow over the Tetons, snow in Montana, Idaho, snow over the top of the Sierra, from Tahoe north, snow in Washington, Oregon, and BC. Let's move into the morning hours. Look what happens in Utah over the Wasatch. This is the morning, early morning, on Tuesday the 17th. So between late on the 16th and the 17th, some light snow accumulation kind of drops across or brushes the Wasatch. Better snows to the north. Snow over the Tetons, Montana, Idaho, Oregon, Washington State. Let's move to lunchtime on Tuesday the 17th. You can see where all the precip is here. Some of it's brushing potentially the Wasatch. And look at the dirty northwest flow dropping into the northern mountains of Colorado. So that's going to produce snow accumulation and wind. And some of that at times may brush the I-70 corridor, but most of it's going to be in the northern mountains. All right, let me take you to end of day. This is end of day on Tuesday the 17th. Still looking at that dirty northwest flow over the northern mountains of Colorado, potentially dropping down towards I-70. Light snows over parts of the Wasatch, Tetons, and everywhere else. And the next storm system is hitting the Pacific Northwest. Here's the start. Early morning on Wednesday the 18th. Look at where all the precip is. It's up in Washington State, overrunning Idaho, northwest Montana, and of course BC. Heavy snow through parts of BC. And here we are by lunchtime. Let me go back. Here's lunchtime. on the 18th, and you've got heavy precip in Washington, some in Oregon, a little bit of northwest Montana, and certainly there's going to be heavy snow up in the parts of interior BC. So that's how things play out on the future radar. Let me show you my numbers. So these are the grand totals. This is all of 1216 through 1224. So let's just take this zone by zone. So in the Sierra, 6 to 10. For Mammoth, less than Mammoth, a little bit more over Tahoe, and certainly more over Shasta. Shasta could get over a foot. The Pacific Northwest is in really good shape with potentially 2 or 3 feet of accumulation, mid-mountain and higher, of course, across Whistler, Blackcomb, Baker, Crystal, Rainier, and Bachelor, and Timberline. Interior BC looks great, 1 to 2 feet of accumulation during this time frame. And again, the key time frame, the key window for interior BC is going to be 1217 and 1218. That's when you're going to pick up that heavy snow accumulation. Looking at Idaho, anywhere from 10 to 12, we'll call it 8 to 12 for Sun Valley, Brundage, and Schweitzer, and about 6 up there in the parts of a lot of Montana. Potentially 8 to 12 across the Tetons, and we might get 6 to 10 across the Wasatch, assuming, and I'll show you the timing again, assuming in the Wasatch that that moderate to heavy potential does verify on 1223. Okay, into Colorado, like I said, it's really just the northern mountains, 6 to 10 inches up there around Steamboat, Buff Pass, Cameron Pass, Flat Tops, and then it's much less accumulation as you go south towards I-70 and the southern mountain zones. Okay, let's go to the Northeast, and this is an interesting forecast. And again, this assumes that timing in the Northeast with heavy snow on 1220 and 1221. So that's where a lot of the bulk of these numbers come from. The 10 to 20 inches here that I've got for the major ski areas of Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, and also for parts of New York State. Uh, Potentially, we'll have to wait and see, but potentially 10 to 20 inches, maybe a bit more over Mount Washington. Mount Washington might even be closer to 2 feet. But this could be a good setup, assuming that storm system on 1220 and 1221 plays out. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this On the Snow Before You Go forecast. Take care and appreciate you watching and tuning in here.